Hi there, thanks for joining me today. Got a nice little treat. Got this is the Pelsee dash cam. I'm going to be fitting it into the 3 Series BMW. This is the P2 Trio, so it's got outside forward facing camera, rear camera, and it also records inside the car all at the same time. So let's whip it out of the box and have a look. Really nicely packaged, which is always good. I do like these lovely boxes. I know it makes no difference in the long run, but it just shows a bit of quality sometimes if the packaging's really nice. Wow! That is a lovely looking thing. That's really nice. Can't quite figure out how it goes yet, but we'll get there in a minute. We've obviously got a screen. There's a screen behind this one here. It's quite compact and lovely. We've got the camera there. We've got a camera at the front behind that one. We've got forward facing, rear facing for the internal, and yeah, that one moves around so you can get that right. Then that's mounting to the screen, but I'm thinking that must move as well. Oh yeah, there it goes. Yeah, it's quite stiff obviously because you don't want it moving about once it's set up in the car. So yeah, that's going to be hanging in the screen. Let's get the accessory box out, see what we get in here. Right, so we've got some cleaning products, some screen savers, anti-scratch things, update warranty, and a serial card. We've got some fancy tool here for peeling things off, I presume. Little double-sided cable ties. 64GB memory card, all included. More sticky pads in case we have to move this, I suppose, off the screen. Another sticky pad there. Instructions. Oh, we've got a lot of bags, haven't we? Got a lot of bags. What's this one? This one's the charger. What kind of charger does it give us? We get the dreaded cigarette lighter socket. Don't want to be using that. I want this to be all hidden, so I've got to get a little adapter that's going to plug into that I can hide the wires behind the dashboard and wire it into the fuse box. You can't just cut that off though, because inside here there is a little transformer. So yes, we do need to be using this, but obviously in a different way. So we'll use that. We'll get onto that in a bit. I presume this thing is going to be the rear camera. Yeah, here we go. This is the rear camera with a shed load of wire on it. Quirky little loom. Got a little camera there with an adjustable, so you get the angle of dangle right on the back window as well. And then that is going to plug into the AV on there. So that's just another wire we've got to hide. So we've got obviously the power wire there on the top of that one. It's going to be going in there, which is a USB-C connector. So we've got to just mount those all in and hide these 2 wires in the car. Now this bit of kit, this camera, it comes in at 159 quid on Amazon. It's 4K on the front camera, 1080 on the interior and the back camera. So it's really good quality. Night vision is supposed to be absolutely super. It's an Amazon choice camera. They really recommend this one. Like I say, it comes with a 64GB memory card. It's got voice command on it as well, so you're supposed to be able to talk to it to do recording. It's got crash sense as well. If something bashes into the car while it's switched off, this is supposed to only come to life and record. So it's got a few features in there. Let's get it out to the car, get it attached, get it set up, and get it all plugged in. A couple of things we've got to think about with this when the camera's fitted to the car. And I like to have it out the way so I can't really see it while I'm driving, so I like to use these mirror as a bit of a blocker. So if I can get this up on the screen right up there, you see how you're sitting, or your view there is from the driver's seat. That is what I can see when I'm driving. If I put it up there like that, I can't see the camera, which is great, but from the passenger side I can see the screen and still alter the settings on it. Also, don't forget, this has got the camera that's facing inside the car. Great for taxi drivers and stuff like that. It's a really safe feature. If somebody's going to bash you or attack you, then this is going to record it. But for me, I don't really want to be on that when I'm driving, purely for the fact that if I'm doing something I shouldn't, if I'm just get distracted by a phone, you know, sometimes you get a message and have a quick peek. I know you shouldn't, but we all do it. This catches you when you have a prang, you're in big trouble. So I don't really want this to be looking at me all the time while I'm driving. So if I can put it up there, as you see, that now is seeing everybody else in the car, but where I'm sitting, the mirror's blocking it. So I'm still got a little bit of privacy, but everything else in the car is being recorded. I quite like that. I quite like that. It just gives me a little bit of peace of mind to know that I'm not permanently being recorded on the camera. So yeah, that's where it's going to go, just up there behind the mirror. The other thing we've got to make sure is before we stick it to the screen, we've got to plug these in. So we've got the USB there, and we've also got the camera for the rear of the car, which I think we might have to put in to the front of that one like that. If I go to the back, it's going to be too close to the screen, I think, that way. And I'm not sure that it's when we stick it. Oh, it's tight. I think it's going to be okay. We could go that side. That's going to be a bit neater. Or that way. Yeah, I am going to go that way. So I'm going to go with it that side. There is enough room there. We can get that up there behind that. These wires then are going to be fed underneath the trim on the top of the window screen, so I can get that now up as high as I can. And yeah, they'll be in there tucked away behind here, all out of sight. We're not going to see any wires at all. I don't want to see no wires. I don't like to see the horrible ugly wires hanging out. So with that, like that, we can clean the screen, make sure that's really nice and clean. We'll just do one last check where we want it, and I'm happy with it being up there like that. That's where you can see everything there, and as you can see now, you can't see that rear facing camera, so I think that's where it's going to be, just there like that. I'll just give this screen one last wipe. I have wiped it with a bit of cleaner earlier, but I'll just do it once more with my shirt just to be sure it's clean. We can peel off the sticker on the double-sided tape there, and then make sure we get this level and in the right place where we want it, which, like I said, is about there. And then we'll stick that up there like that. Ah, and this has got a quick removable mounting on it. What about that? Oh, that's nice. I like that. Oh, that's great. So you can just whip that off the screen if at any point you want to hide it. If you don't want to leave it, you're in a dodgy area and you don't want to leave the camera attached in case someone's going to smash it off, then you can just pop that off there. Right, okay. Camera's in place. We can alter the angle on it, make sure we get it where we want it roughly, which is about there. Now let's pop these wires out of their holders, and we can get those fed in behind the trims. We need to, like I say, get this one down the trim, down the side. The fuse box I'm looking for is behind the glove box, behind the dashboard here, so it's not too far to go. We'll get that down there, ready to be fitted. This side we have got this, like I say, the camera. We can pull that one out as well. Looks like we've got a disconnection there. Yep, we can unplug that. For the rear camera, that just makes it easy to feed that wire through the trims to the back. These cables, really nice quality wires. Like I say, it feels like a very nice bit of kit. Sometimes the wires are a bit crappy. I did fit the next base camera into a 1 series, and I wasn't so keen on the wires, and the actual transformer, the cigarette lighter plug, did fail. It burnt out. They did send me a new one through, so the warranty side of it was fantastic. They did replace that, no problem at all. But yeah, it did fail though, that, and that was the next base camera. Let's get this down and ready to go in. Right, like I say, I want these all nice and tidy, tucked away. Oh, you can just pull this down with your fingers like that and just tuck it in up there and hide those behind there. You can see the idea. There you go, look, we can pull that down, which will help us get behind it. We just peel that down there, and now we've definitely got a route down. We've just got to get from there to there, but this does lift, like I say, you can get behind that. So let's feed them in there and try and get these wires up behind here and feed them round. I think there's a little screw behind that airbag sign, if I remember right. I might be able to do it without taking it off. I'm just going to get a little poker. This is blunt on the end, it's not got a sharp point on it. If we just get that in behind there, look, get it down and round. That's one. I've just got the rear camera one now to get in there. Yeah, I think we're in. The rear camera one, we need that to start coming back this way, so that is going to be that one. So we'll start feeding that this way. The other one can go that way, so let's pull this right back. Just pull that right off there, and then we can start coming back up the trim. Now I'm going to be able to feed this all the way to the back without pulling any trims off at all. You can get into these little nooks and crannies and tuck that wire away, hiding it. We're pulling the rubbers off, but we're not actually removing any of the trims. You'd never know. We'll get down the bottom here and start to get in behind the glove box. Inside the glove box here, we've got this little removable panel at the back. We can turn the two little tabs, one either side, and then that section comes out, revealing there's a fuse box location diagram. Now you can see there at the back we've got a fuse box. There's a little pin there at the bottom, you can push that through, pull the pin all the way out like that, and then TX20 on that side. And then we pull this forward. Just pop that light out of there as well, and we can pop that connector out and then get rid of that for a minute. And we can just be able to pop this out if we need to now. It's just on a clip like that. Just pull it away, and we can get that in round the back there, ready to go into our auxiliary, and we can pop this back in again. And we'll have that back up again now. You can actually see now the wire we've got coming down behind the trim. We just tuck that in there, and then we'll have that trim back on. Now we take this glove box right out. It's got 6 screws, little T20 torque bits around the outside, one down the side there and one this on the right hand side, just in there. We do need to take the cup holders out to get this out, so we need to just pop a little screwdriver behind that trim, pull that off. It's only on a couple of push clips, 2 screws in each of the cup holders. We'll whiz those out, and then they just pull out as well. I will be doing a cup holder repair video at some point. This one on the right's a bit sticky. There you go, it's out. And then you push the 2 sides in, and that will drop down, and now we can pull the whole thing out. It's got a couple of connector plugs on it, one at the side that doesn't do anything and one for the light, and there's the fuse box, and that's where we're going to be heading. Right, so here we go, got a view of the fuse box. We need to get a positive feed now. I know for a fact that on the 1 series, that one there was a 12-volt feed with ignition on, so that's where I'll be taking my power from. I'm sure it's going to be the same on this. I'll just check it though with a test light. So at the minute the ignition's off and we've got nothing there. If I just pop the key in and put the ignition on, like that, yeah, there you go, look, live. So that's where we'll be taking this feed from. Now obviously you have to use a little small terminal. I've only got these bigger ones at the minute, so what I'm going to do is just chop that in half and just munch that straight down the middle like that, and then we'll chop that off and just make sure that's going to go in. Maybe I need to take a little bit more off it yet, but we'll just have a look. So with that then, like that, I can just push that in like that. Perfect, that's where it's going to go. So that's fitting in there nicely. Lovely. Right, and let's get a wire in it. Again, what I'm using is one of these. This is just a auxiliary socket, cigarette socket, which is that's going to be pushed into there like that. This is all going to be tucked away behind the dashboard, and we just feed the power in. The middle one's the positive, the outside is the earth, or negative, sorry, I'm on a car. We've got this earth here, we can get an earth off of this, or the 10mm bolt up the top there. That's nice. Right, so let's get this sorted. So this is what we're actually wiring in here. We're just going to cable tie this to the wires once we're finished. I'll put links in the description for some of this or something very similar. So I've got some nice cable, positive, negative there. I'm going to put a little fusible link in this as well, so I'm just going to clip the end off that, twist that up, double it over. We'll have that into our connector that we're going to go to the fuse board. Just crimp that up. Crimp that up. Got a fuse which we can now stick in those two there. 10 amp fuse I'm going for. You could go slightly smaller if you want. So I've got that now to go into the fuse box, and this now is going to be off to the camera, and the earth is going to go to the body there. So let's get that into the top one up there, which was one we said, like that. That's now live, but it will be when the ignition's on. Got my Milwaukee bit box. I'm sure we can find a Torx bit that will fit that in here. There we go, we'll have that out of there in a minute. We'll pop his little ring terminal through it there. Crimp that up. We'll have that through there with a bolt through it. And we'll have that back into the heater. And we'll whiz that up. Yeah. Like that, which will go, like I said, to the centre pin. We'll go to the earth on the outside, or negative on the outside of that, like that. Now we can get his socket from his dash cam. Like that, and plug that in there. And then we can just tie all this up out the way. Just get a bit of insulation tape, some cable ties, just put the cable tie round the whole thing so that that plug can't come out when it's vibrating about. Wrap some tape round it, bundle it all up, and then just strap it to that little bit of wire at the top there. Yeah, like that. That's nice, all out the way. Cable tied up. Going to give us too many problems. Nicely fused. Let's get the plug box back in again. Alright, there we go. I'll just pop off the rubber door trim again and feed this camera wire to the back. We'll just feed that in, pushing the trim back in as we go along. Nice and easy. Tuck it in behind the trim, down the rear quarter, all the way to the boot. Now this tailgate is really unusual in the fact that the glass pops up and moves around, and also the whole boot lifts up as well. So there's going to be a massive amount of wire that's needed to hang round. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be, we're going to have like that much wire hanging, but there's not a lot else I can do. Even if I fed it through the loom, I'm going to have to split this, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to get water ingress into there. So let's go with this. Let's see what. I'm also not going to put it in the middle. I'm going to put it at the side. Something to be wary of. We have got an up arrow on it, so it does need to be that way up like that. Otherwise, the whole image will be upside down. So yeah, we're there. I'm going to pop it about there, like that. Yep, we're still here. We'll peel off that backing plate. Okay. And try and stick it right. Just there like that. That's on there. And then we'll have this wire connected in to the camera like that. Then we could just finish off tidying up the wiring. Just feed it in and tuck it away. Right, there we go. That's pretty much as good as I can get it inside there. And then we've got the wire coming round. When we close that down, and then we open the boot up. Yeah, we've got just enough there. There is an ugly bit hanging inside. It's not too bad, I've seen worse. I can't see any other way of doing this though, so when I shut that down, see that bit of wire there. The beauty of this camera with the detachable bracket on it is that we can now do the updates out of the car. So all we need to do is just get a USB. I've got the USB charger. We can just plug that into the back of that, power it up, and we can now do the updates without having the car switched on or fiddling about in there. So let's have a little look. You can actually see the camera working there. No card. First thing we've got to do then is get the memory card in there. We get one with it, which is in this little packet here. So I'll have that out of the packet. 64GB memory card as well, which is a decent amount of power. There we go. Does it touch? No, so you have to use the buttons on the bottom. So OK is the second one along. Bingo. So this is also the GPS. It'll record speed and location data to the video. Okay, so what we're going to do is just run through the settings. On the bottom here we've got power on and off. On the end of the camera there we've got a microphone, and we've got a little reset hole as well, which we can put a pin in if we ever have a freeze and the camera stops working. You can reset it back to factory with the little pin in the end. First thing we've got to do is update the camera, and if we go to the manual you've got a QR code there, so I'll just go into photos and we'll scan that on the phone, and then we can download the app. Yeah, here's the phone. Take a photograph, takes us through to the App Store, straight into the Pelsee app. We just press get at the top. It downloads the app to your phone. We then agree the terms and conditions, add the camera. It takes you through to your Wi-Fi menu. You just click on the camera and put in the passcode 12345678. Then you just click on the camera again and it will log in. Takes you back to the app. You can add the camera now. Connects to it. We can do the upgrade now, so it knows it wants a firmware update on it. It downloads the information straight from the Wi-Fi. Once it's through, we just click on the done, upgrade now, and that's the camera updated. Click OK. All done. Then it takes you straight into the camera, and that's the live view streaming straight from the camera. We can click on settings, and it gives you some settings in here you can adjust, sound and all sorts, loop recording. You can click on the files, and there's all the files which you can download straight to your phone in 4K or 1080, depending on which one it is. So that was nice and straightforward, all updated. Camera's now got the latest firmware in it. So on the bottom here we've got a power button, we've got the menu button, and we've got the menu select up and down. So if we go into menu, and you can turn on and off the different items as you go through. So we've got settings, voice control, version, file, parking mode, Wi-Fi. So literally press on that, we press, see where the OK lines up to the bottom, the button on the bottom just about. We press that, we can turn the Wi-Fi on and off. We've got the file explorer, which will take us to all the different videos that we've now recorded. We've got standard video, locked video image. If you have a crash and the crash sensor inside here automatically triggers, it will lock the videos onto the card and you can't delete them unless you take them out, take the memory card out and take it to your computer and physically delete it, or format the card. You could format it inside the machine. We can go to settings. You've got your loop recording. You can change the times on that like we could do within the app. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. We've got resolution, video resolution, 4K or 2K. That's only on the front camera. The others are all 1080, the rear and the cabin camera. So it's only the front where you can change. But we'll keep that on 4K. Why would we want to reduce that? You know, unless you're showing a really small memory card, which we're not. Sound recording. We can either turn that on or off. We'll leave that on for now. Collision detection sensitivity, we can alter that. We'll have it on medium. We'll leave it at for now in case it gives us problems. Language, we're obviously in English at the minute. Screensaver. So this is when it turns the screen off. I don't like to have the camera on all the time. It distracts me. So I'll leave that on for a minute and then the screen will go blank when I'm driving. But I'll leave it at that. We'll go OK on that one. We can go 24-hour clock. I like the 24-hour clock, so we'll change that to 24-hour. OK on that one. The date and time. So that's all OK. We don't need to adjust that. Show date and time on the recording. On. We'll leave that on. We'll have that. Sound for when you press the buttons, this little beeping sound. I'll leave that on as well. I quite like that. Volume setting, that's okay. We've heard her talk to us. And the voice control, we can either turn that on or off as well. So we can go into that though. And obviously, yeah, on or off, same thing. Time zone. Perfect. Frequencies, if you're in America, you might have to change that to 60 Hertz. This should be set to 50 at the minute, which it is, which is good. And GPS information. Actually, satellites at the minute we're inside, so it's not going to show us any satellites, but when we go outside, that'll all go green. Speed units, miles per hour, that's what I like, so that's good for that one. Timestamp, display GPS speed, so it actually displays the speed on the video. Overspeed alarm, we could set that if you want. It does record speed and everything else. If you want it to buzz at you when you're going over speed limits, it must have a memory in here of some sort of GPS to know what the speed limits are. I'm not going to have that. I don't want that binging at me all the time. GPS speed activity, cabin camera recording, on or off. So we'll leave that on. You can flip the rear view like we were saying earlier. And then we can format the card, which we'll do that now because we did do an update on. Oh, that's, she talks to you every time you do something. Factory reset, app downloading. So if you want to download the app to your phone and you haven't got the instruction manual, you can actually get the QR code off of here. And there we go. That's the settings. Voice control. That's all the things you can do with voice control. Open screen, open recording, show rear camera, take a picture, show front camera, turn off display, turn off recording, lock the video. That is pretty much it. Parking mode, let's have a quick look at that. So you've got to have extra hardwire kit to run that on this model, which we don't have, so we're not going to worry about that. On the top you've got a few icons. It's just showing your camera recordings in 4K. We've got Wi-Fi, which we've turned off. We've got the GPS status, which has got a line through it at the minute. We've got microphone, we've got SD, and we've got power. Down the bottom we've got the date, obviously, and the time, and then we've got voice command is in operation and miles per hour that we're doing. Let's go and stick this back in the car. Now we're all updated. It is a mighty lovely piece of kit. Like I say, the feel of it is, it's nicely weighted. It doesn't feel cheap at all. The screen has got a beautiful blacked, smooth, scratch resistant cover on it. Good quality screen as well. The picture is really, really nice. So far I'm really impressed. Let's go and give it a drive. Let's see what it records like. Right, let's do it. Let's go for it. It's got a really good wide angle on it. I'm looking at it from quite a, well, more than 45 degrees, and I can still see it really clearly, so that's a good start. It's a bit of a miserable day today, so the lighting is a bit dull at the minute. A bit brighter down here though, so we'll just see what. We'll see how it picks up. Look out for car registration numbers on the camera recording from the front camera, and see how clear they are, because that's obviously the thing that these cameras usually struggle picking up on. This is 4K, so it should be clear. We'll also have a look from the rear camera as well. We've got a car there that's just pulled up behind us, a van following us down the road, so let's see what the camera recording is like on that one. I can just read this car in front of me with my eyes, FD23, so I wonder if that picks it up. I couldn't get much further back than that and still read it with my eyes, so is the camera as good as my eyes for reading registration numbers? Car says I'm doing about 38 mile an hour at the minute. I've got no rattling from them wires either, which is good. I didn't know sometimes you get a little bit of a rattle behind a trim. I can't hear anything at the minute, so that's good news. Rear camera's got a good view of the car, but not too much of me, so that's okay. You can just see where I'm looking. That's the rear camera. One thing we can't adjust on the front camera is tilt. It'll go up and down, but it won't go side to side. So you've got no left and right. So it is pretty much when it's stuck to the screen in the forward position, that's what you're getting. But it has got a really wide angle view on it, so we shouldn't need to have too many issues with that. That shouldn't create too many problems. From what I can see on here, I've got a really good front view. If there is something that catches your attention, you can actually take a snapshot photo using the button, or the power button on the left hand side. Using the power button on the left hand side, we can just click a single photo which will stay recorded. We'll swip over and do some night footage. Let's see what that looks like. See, I can clearly read that registration in front now. Hopefully the camera's going to pick that up. Earlier. Yeah, that's readable on that, so I'm quite pleased with that. The night vision is quite effective. The view from the front is really good. Back view is good. the window now has got a little bit of dirt on it, so it's obviously going to affect the camera's quality. This one, however, it's struggling, and you can see that when it goes really dark, the lights are affecting it. When we go street lights and car lights, it is affecting the camera, and it's doing some funny old things like that. And they didn't have that problem in the day, it's only the night view. The front and back are absolutely spot on. Gets really dark in a minute, we'll lose the street lights, so we'll just see what the quality is when there's no street lights to help us out. That's a really dark bit of road ahead now, just the lights of the car on it. The camera looks like it's picking it up really good. Well, there we have it. That was the Pelsee dash cam. Not a bad bit of kit, was it? The rear facing camera in the car at night was a little bit disappointing, but the front camera was amazing. The back camera was good enough for a rear facing camera. So all in all, I think it was it's a cracking bit of kit for the money, with the GPS and everything else all included. Yeah, it's got some power, hasn't it? It's quite a competent bit of kit. If you've enjoyed the video, then drop me a little thumbs up, like, subscribe, and drop me the comments. Always love your comments. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.